Support Name Explain on Patreon for ad-free videos, exclusive podcasts and blog posts, and to help choose what names get explained. Click the link in the description. If I were to refer to a country as the United States, the US, or even just the States, I'm sure one country above all comes to mind for the majority of people, that being the United States of America. I imagine that when most people hear just the word states, it's the USA that comes to mind first, which is all very well and good. But it's kind of crazy what a monopoly the USA has on the concept of states. States existed way before the United States of America was ever a thing, and continue to exist in other countries that don't have the word America in their name. While we may link the words United and States heavily with the USA now, if we take a step back and just look at these two words in a vacuum, they are actually incredibly common words across language. Many other countries are formed of states that are united, so why don't they get called this too? Well, here's the thing. Throughout history, there have been other nations that have also been dubbed the United States of somewhere. We all know about the USA, but what if I told you that in the past we also had a USB, USC, USI, and even a USV. Though perhaps we were getting a tad too far ahead of ourselves. Let's get to the root of that word state to begin with, shall we? State as a noun, meaning a certain area of land, relates to the other way we use state as a noun, meaning the specific situation / circumstances someone/something is in at a specific time. Man, it's actually kind of hard to define that sort of state. It's a state of being. This kind of state comes from the Latin status, meaning things like position, order, or condition, and we still use the Latin word to this day in that sense. State as a name for an area of land grew out of the term of a state of being, as those lands were being defined by the situation and circumstances they were facing. The Latin phrase status rei publica, meaning condition of the republic, seemingly helps state as a name for a land area become a thing. As to what exactly a state is, and how it's different to other subdivisions like a region, territory, province, or prefecture, in example, doesn't seem to be as clear cut. There are many ideas and definitions, and what a state is differs from nation to nation. And sometimes these ideas as to what a state is can lead us into something of a rabbit hole. It seems one of the more popular definitions of what a state is that they're part of a country with a federal system, meaning each state has a degree of independence from the nation as a whole. As I said, many countries consist of states like Germany and Brazil in example. Some are even made up of states and another type of region, like how Australia is split into states and territories, or how India is split into states and union territories. These are just a few examples of nations that also consist of states that are united, yet you don't hear people talking about the United States of Germany, do you? Or when they say the USA, they don't actually mean the United States of Australia. If we look into these nations, they use different words in their full, proper official names, such as the Republic of India, the Federative Republic of Brazil, and the Commonwealth of Australia. Clearly, for one reason or another, they don't want to emphasize the fact they're made up of states in their names too. However, don't think you're off the hook just yet, America. While these countries may not have United States in their name, there have been nations that have also gone under the name the United States of somewhere in the past, and there's still one on our planet that kind of still does. You are indeed hearing what I said right. As I mentioned at the top of this video, other nations called the United States have existed on our planet, and it's no real surprise. As I said, these are two pretty universal words and can apply to many nations, so it only makes sense others have used them too. They've been found all across the globe, from Europe, Asia, Africa, and even down in South America, and these other United States have taken on all sorts of forms. Take poor old Belgium. It's a nation that has had a lot of stereotypes attached to it, from it being boring to being rainy and flat. Belgium, however, is a wonderful country with a rich history, and just a part of that history is captured in the nation's former name, the United States of Belgium, also known as the United Belgian States. These United States weren't around for too long though, it would seem. The United States of Belgium existed in just 1790 for pretty much the entire duration of that year. This short-lived union of states was the product of the Brabant Revolution, which wanted to overthrow the Habsburg rule on the land. While they existed for the better part of 1790, the land eventually came back under their rule. We can only imagine what Belgium would be like now if they'd stayed a series of states. Perhaps we'd be calling it the USB, which is an acronym that is now connected with something else entirely. We also had another USB on our planet too. As mentioned, Brazil is made up of states too, and in the past it went under the two names of the Republic of the United States of Brazil and just the United States of Brazil. These names were used for the country in varying degrees from 1889 all the way up until 1930, it would seem, with the Brazilian Revolution. North of this second USB, we had the United States of Central America, which is also more known as the United Provinces of Central America, as well as the Federal Republic of Central America. This nation lasted from 1823 to 1841, so around 20 years, which isn't too bad at all. These United States actually consisted of just 5 states that all enjoyed a degree of independence. While this nation may not be around anymore, its 5 states still are, as the independent nations of Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, Costa Rica, and Nicaragua. A United States that actually crossed between Central and South America is actually the United States of Colombia, which included the modern nation of Colombia, but also the land we now call Panama. These United States lasted from 1863 up until 1886. It was actually a 2-year civil war in the land that led to these United States splitting and Panama and the modern Colombia becoming their own things. Over in Southeast Asia, we actually had the United States of Indonesia. This nation only had this name from just 1949 to 1950. It was given this title in the aftermath of its rule under the Netherlands. The Dutch tried to reclaim the land in the 3 years following up to 1949, but in failing to do so, accepted Indonesia's independence and the island formed these United States. However, as mentioned, it wouldn't be too long until the nation grew even more and became the republic that it is today. While the United States of Indonesia gave us the USI for some time, we also had the USII for some years too. This was with the United States of the Ionian Islands. These islands off the coast of Greece have been sought after across history by different empires, primarily due to how close they are to the now defunct Ottoman Empire. From 1815 until 1864, they were under British rule as a protectorate. This gave us a very unique United States, that's for sure. Now these islands are safely under Greek rule, however. The USS acronym relates to a nation that isn't even on our planet anymore, that being the tiny nation of Stellaland, which is now in South Africa. This nation was around from 1882 until 1885, and for its last few years in existence, it switched from being the Republic of Stellaland to the United States of Stellaland. This land was pined over by the British and South Africans, and this desire to rule the land was actually a key factor in the start of the Second Boer War. And once again, over in South America, we have the USV, the United States of Venezuela. It held on to this name all the way until 1999, when changes to the nation's constitution were made, and with that a name change too, that being the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. And as I mentioned, there is still one other United States that still resides on our planet with that name. Well, kind of, and it's about as close to the USA as you can get, as its neighbour to the south is also a United States nation. While we all know this nation as Mexico, its full official name is the United Mexican States. Like I said, it's kind of there, the words are just a bit jumbled around. This isn't even including some of the proposed United States, like the United States of China, or the concept of the United States of Europe. It's safe to say there have been many United States on our planet, and one other one still stands to this day. Mexico has United and States in its name. Yet if you were to refer to this country as United States, or even just the States, then I'm sure people would be a tad confused. So why has this title been reserved to only be used with the United States of America? Well, it seems that the advantage the USA has over all these other states is that they were the first to call themselves United States officially. In the run-up to its independence, the term United Colonies was being used as the collective name for this land. This makes all the sense in the world, as these were colonies of the British Empire that were united, and they were united for a specific reason, to become independent, which of course they did in 1776. Of course, now they were no longer colonies, so that name didn't really fit too well anymore. So on the 9th of September 1776, the Continental Congress agreed on the new name for the new nation, the United States of America, as they were a series of states united, on land known as America. And while as the years went on, other United States came and went, it seems no other nation could truly embody that title quite like the USA has. State is undoubtedly a word most associated with the United States of America, despite the fact that many other countries have states too. And while I've been digging quite profusely into the state side of this name, that doesn't mean the former word is getting off lightly too. United and its noun form of union are words we see in the names of other countries too, from kingdoms to emirates that are united. Though maybe all the united countries are a conversation for another time. The other United States was suggested by Nebby, and thanks to that suggestion, they will now be honoured as Name Explain's patron saint of the other United States. Do you have a good idea for somewhere that's name could be covered in a Name Explain video? If so, then please consider donating on Patreon. Just $1 a month helps keep the channel running and earns you a weekly chance to suggest somewhere to be turned into a video, and you too could be a Name Explain Patreon saint. Thank you to all my patrons who support Name Explain on a monthly basis. Patreon is vital to Name Explain, and donating just $2 a month allows you to enjoy ad-free videos and bonus Patreon exclusive content. It also allows you to help choose what names get explained in upcoming videos, and it gets your name here with all these awesome people. Thank you so much for all the support you guys give Name Explain. Thank you for reaching the end of this video. Check out another video and subscribe to stay in the loop on all things Name Explain. You can find me on Twitter where I'm at NameExplainYT. On Instagram I'm also NameExplainYT, and on Facebook just search Name Explain. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and once again, thank you all so much.